What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. As always, I am one half of Daniel Garcia Twisted alongside Brother Pyro.
Greetings, everyone.
And we are recapping AEW All In. We do apologize for this being just a little late, but some unforeseen issues on our side.
We've been dealing with a lot the last couple days.
Yeah, unfortunately to all that. So let's get started right away. We can get straight into this recap, and you guys can have your normalcy back to us.
Yay!
Alright, starting off the night, we actually opened with the 4-way trios ladder match. This consisted of House of Black, Bang Bang Gang, the Patriarchy, and don't help me, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and PAC, so kind of a different of the BBC. Yeah. I
was like, are we gonna get here? Are we gonna get here?
Yeah. Well, I did eventually. As Brother Pyro says it, this match was chaotic. It was a human car crash. But there's something we did notice, that a lot of the ladders are short.
Yeah, Flash actually pointed that one out to us. Like, dude, why are the ladders so short? None of them are normal size.
Yeah, I can't tell you. So, with this match, you know, I don't want to say it told a story, because, again, it's just 4 teams just kind of going at it, beat the hell out of each other. So, it gave everything it was supposed to, in my opinion. It was really well executed. You did see Christian as the opening bell. He ran away and came back when everybody was down.
Just to see a little punk.
Thinking that he was going to end up winning it for his team. Obviously, that was not the case in that moment.
No, as soon as they saw him, they're like, we gonna beat him up, because he really did come down, get dragged out the ring, and then got jumped.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
This match, again, executed very beautifully, I think. And to start out the show, I think it was very smart.
I do. But one of the things I enjoy was the moment with Mama Wayne, where she was, she's classified as one of the members of the Patriarchy. She's classified as one of the champions.
Yeah, whatever, BS. Anywho.
She goes to climb the ladder. I don't remember who it was that got in the ring.
Juice Robinson.
That just looked at her and was like, get your head down and go. Out. No.
Juice Robinson really did what everybody wanted to happen to Mama Wayne. He was going to put her ass through a table.
Should've.
And I would have loved to have seen that, because then that, you know, I said it during it. He's like Randy Orton of WWE.
He's unhinged as hell?
No, his hands are rated E for everybody.
I feel like both statements are true, because let's be real, Juice Robinson, but unhinged as a mug.
I mean, that's why he's Hex's favorite. Oop. So, winning ultimately at the end of all this was PAC and the Blackpool Combat Club. They give PAC the win. He was the one that climbed the ladder, securing the championship. End of the match concludes.
Part of me is like, where does any of this make sense? But we'll have to watch Dynamite and Rampage and Collision and, AEW product in weeks to come to figure it out.
Your grade for this match?
I gave it a B+. I thought it was a decent match overall. Mm-hmm. My biggest quarrel outside of BCC teaming with PAC, because where did that make sense, was they really didn't give this match a lot of time.
No, it was a fairly quick match. But I think that's because of a match that we did have later on where, and I'm talking the Casino Gauntlet match, where they had said that there was a possibility of 21 people being in that match at one time.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of why a lot of the matches beforehand, if you realize it, weren't super long, was because they were, making sure that they had time to lead up to that Casino Gauntlet match. So.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
All right, next match.
AEW Women's World Title. Mariah May challenging Timeless Toni Storm. Do not give me that look.
I've told you time and time again, I can't stand that gimmick. It doesn't change. I cannot stand the gimmick.
Okay, you can't stand the gimmick, but the person portraying the gimmick is actually doing really well with it. And secondly, we're not here to talk about the gimmick. We're here to talk about a title match.
That you even said was ass.
It was garbage.
Yeah.
It was not great.
Okay, then.
Could have been significantly better.
Take us through the match.
You definitely got to see a lot of the story of how hurt Toni Storm was in her betrayal of somebody she considered a friend and a protege.
And her child, who she would put up against her bosom.
Or lack thereof.
Toni Storm is flatter than my child.
Shut up!
Oh, it's the truth.
Shut
Don't
up.
beat me up. We're live. You can beat me up afterwards. But it doesn't make it any less true that my child is only 16 months and at least has a little bit more on his chestes than Toni Storm does. And she is a full-blown woman. She's a full-grown woman. And my child got a little more on his chestes than she does. I'm not wrong. You know I'm not wrong. You just mad that I'm saying it live.
I'm just looking at... I'm really glad there isn't a visual aspect to our podcast yet. Because the look everybody would see me giving you right now.
Doesn't change.
I don't think
I'm freaking right.
Anyways. There wasn't a lot of memorable moments in this match. It wasn't great. I mean, you had a moment between Toni Storm and Mariah May's mom. Because
Mariah May slapped her own mother.
But like...
So she put the mom to her non-existent bosom?
Will you shut up? I cannot deal with you right now. Ugh. Like, I do not have the energy for this right now, okay?
I gave you coffee.
Yeah, well... Anyway. Proceeding through this match of very not memorable moments, we're just gonna fast forward to the end. Picking up your win, new AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May.
Were we trying to combine words, sir? Shut up. Alright. Grade.
I gave it a C.
That's generous.
I know.
That was
But considering what the other women's match was,
You know what?
In comparison...
They're kind of equal, honestly. Both women's matches were complete dumpster fire.
Both were not great.
They were a complete dumpster fire.
But in comparison, I'd rather rewatch the women's world title match than the TBS title match.
Hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, bro.
Both of them sucked, okay? Both of them sucked. We know what my favorite matches were on this card.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get to those.
And neither women's matches were it.
All right. Next up, FTW title. Chris Jericho gives last chances to Hook for challenging for this championship. Now, with it being FTW rules, we knew that the rest of the learning tree were going to get involved. Obviously, they did. There were some, how does Brother Pyro say it? Toys used as well. And those toys were, refresh our memory.
We got trash cans, chairs. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure at some point we saw a kendo stick. Mm-hmm. A cricket bat.
Cricket balls.
Croquet balls.
Croquet balls.
Trying to think. I want to say that was about it. Maybe a table.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Anywho, I think that this match really helped definitely pick up the pace for the rest of the night. You know, we kind of dropped it with the women's championship match a bit. This kind of helped pick us up a bit more. Biggest memorable moment for me in this match was there's a moment in the ring between Jericho and Hook, and Taz, obviously, if you don't know, is Hook's father. He's on commentary, and he says, you know, I made the FTW championship. I made the rules. I need to do something about this. He's like,
I know there are no rules. I'm the one that made the rules. But this is a bit much because, you know, the rest of the learning tree continuously getting involved.
So, what does Taz do? Taz gets involved.
Apparently he broke one of the headsets getting up from the table.
Oh, well, he got a new one by the end of the night. He got a new one by the end of the match.
I was going to say he got a new one by the start of the next match.
All right, then. So, it ain't a worry. So, Taz gets up, gets involved, hits the submission that I was going to say the submission that they're both using, famous for in ways. The Taz mission for him, Red Rum for Hook. And picking up the win, your new and 3-time FTW champion, Hook. And your grade for this match?
I gave it a C+.
Alrighty. I mean, I can kind of see it was more of like a middle-of-the-line match to kind of get us back into where we should be type thing.
My saving grace for that match, I'm not going to lie, because it was entirely predictable for the most part, was the fact that Taz got off the commentary table.
Yes.
I don't think anybody saw that coming, and if you did, you're a liar.
Alright, next matchup.
3-way for the AEW Tag Titles. The Young Bucks defend against The Acclaimed and FTR. Now, this match was a lot of fun to watch because you got to see the animosity that all three teams had for each other. Mm-hmm. The animosity between, you know, The Acclaimed and FTR of, we earned the spot for this match, you don't get to just cut the line. The genuine hatred between the Young Bucks and FTR, because
yeah, we know they hate each other.
That's been an ongoing feud, and the lack of respect that the Young Bucks have for the Acclaimed because they think they're a joke. Overall, great match, great storytelling.
A lot of beautiful high spots in this match.
Oh my god, yes. And it wasn't overly done on high spots.
Can I point out one thing that we were both very happy about? Neither Dax nor Cash had any medical tape on them for the first time in forever.
That'll change by what? Like I said before the end of the match, that'll change before Wednesday.
Well, you'll definitely be watching, so I won't 100%.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah. Because Baby Crossroads can deal with wrestling on at least 2 to 3 times a week, but AEW kind of takes the back burner in this house so that he can really recuperate, because if I take the TV too much, he a little tantrum. Unfortunately.
Please explain the course of the last couple of days where you haven't really had the TV and he's still been pissing vinegar.
Yeah, he really has been. But we got a tooth coming in, so if you're a parent, you understand how that is. Anywho. Conclusion of this match?
I was gonna say a few of my favorite moments were definitely. the EVP trigger. Mm-hmm. Hit by, I was gonna say, was Nicholas and Max Caster on one of the members of FTR.
I think it was Max Caster was the one getting hit. It was Dax and Nicholas doing it.
There was
a shatter machine.
A shatter machine that involved one of the members of FTR and I want to say it was Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed.
I want to say so, yeah. To obviously a member of the Young Bucks,
which was a lot of fun. So getting them to, you know, hey, temporary alliance because we want to take out that third party. And getting to watch each one of them kind of give different renditions of their finishing move was fun.
That was beautiful.
It was great. Again, top tier match because, let's be
Top
real.
tier teams.
Exactly, 3 top-tier teams in the AEW Tag Team division. Picking up the win, however, much to the chagrin of everybody.
The upsetment of everybody.
The Young Bucks walk out of London still AEW Tag Team Champions.
And your grade for this match?
A.
Alright. Into our next match, we had the Casino Gauntlet. Now, before we get started on this, I want to point out something. I'm going to ask you, mister, who has been watching wrestling a lot longer than me, what is a gauntlet?
So you start off with the 2 men. Once one is eliminated, another one comes, and then you go until another one gets eliminated, and so on and so forth till all members involved have made their way through the match. Okay. And then it ends with one person standing.
Okay, so AEW's concept of a gauntlet stated in the beginning of the match that there will be 21 participants. Now, that's pretty long for a gauntlet. Me and you were both taken by surprise for that one. However, what they had said was these men will be entered in at different intervals.
At very random intervals.
So there could be anywhere from 5 members to all of 21 members in this match. But it only mattered when the first person picked up a pinfall. That ended the match. That's stupid.
Right, because then what if somebody gets the pinfall and now what about everybody else in the back that was prepped for this match, that was ready to come out but didn't get the chance to come out?
Mm-hmm.
All
Again,
this preparation for nothing.
Get shit together. Learn what a gauntlet is.
Anyway.
We did get to see some amazing faces. You were very happy when a Mr. Nigel McGuinness came back after 15 years of being out of ring competition.
Bro has not wrestled in forever, and I'm just really happy that it happened. Like, he's a little slow. You pointed that out. I was like, yo, he also old and has ring rust like crazy. I wasn't expecting it to be him being super flashy or anything, but the fact that he got in there, he held his own, made me very happy because, again, it's been forever since he's been in a wrestling ring.
I 100% agree. He did hold his own. Again, like you stated, a little slow for my taste, but...
And at one point, him being one of the first, 3 guys in there.
He was getting kind of tired.
Oh, yeah. But, I want to point out, you had... At one point, it was him, Zack Sabre Jr., Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. And the opening, too, it was where Orange Cassidy, and I don't remember who, and it doesn't really matter. The fact that we got those 4 in and really...
They did beautiful.
A very technical clinic amongst the 4 men was very fun to watch for me.
Yes, I don't doubt that it was. We also had another new face in the AEW now roster. You got to see Ricochet make his AEW debut.
I'm surprised they got to keep... I'm surprised he kept the name and that he didn't go back to previous...
names.
Gimmick. I'm excited to see what they do with him though, because he walked in and he did really well.
He did.
It was a highlight.
Is there any other... Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties on our end. However, Brother Pyro, did you see anybody else's name that you might want to talk about?
Honestly, Hangman did very well. But otherwise, most of our highlight, we've talked about most of our highlighted spots and people. So let's
just gonna jump into the closing
moments.
moments.
Gonna say jump into the closing moments. Let's get into the end here.
So Christian Cage, who had appeared earlier in the night, ended up coming out and also participating in this. Just before closing moments, we hear Killswitch's music start to play.
He was referred to as Luchasaurus again.
And he was, I was going to get there, referred to as Luchasaurus, which really gave Christian a shock. We were very happy thinking that there was going to be an entire turn. And nope, he choke slammed, I want to say it was Kyle O'Reilly.
I believe so.
Onto the mat, put Christian Cage on top of him, securing the win for Christian Cage. Now he has a title shot whenever he wants.
And I want to point out, we never got through all 21 men.
No, we did not.
I know names that were supposed to be there. Evil Uno. Didn't get the chance to be in there.
No, because why would they care? Your grade for this one?
B-.
B-?
Again, their concept was a little wonky.
Their concept was stupid.
I don't think Christian should have won it.
No, definitely not.
Especially not in the fashion that he did. It was stupid. Overall, and it wasn't... Again, if you're going to give me a match like this, give it some time to actually...
build.
Culminate.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. Next match?
Next match, we have the American/International Championship being defended. Will Osprey versus MJF. Let's talk entrances, because first off, Will Ospreay's was freaking awesome. You asked why he came out with the Assassin's Creed styled.
I mean, and I said it before, it's kind of a stupid question. I kind of figured out the answer on my own because of the nickname. But I was wondering if there was another reason to the fact of that. Like, did they have, like, a special DLC in the new game where it was Osprey like they do with Call of Duty?
That would be insane.
That's more or less where I was going with it.
But I don't know, because the game's also not out for another, 2 months.
Well, they could be announcing things like that, and I figured this was kind of a way you could have announced.
But again, Will Ospreay being the big fan of the franchise that he is, and him being known as the aerial assassin, it made sense, and I'm pretty sure there was a marketing deal there somewhere, because, again, make it make sense. MJF comes out and, he's America, and he is playing into the I'm in England and I'm gonna make them hate me as much as
he's good at doing.
Oh yeah. Overall, it was a really good match. It told a lot of story. You can tell MJF and Osprey both. One, you can see the disdain there, and two, you can tell neither one of them was willing to give this up without a fight. MJF mocking Osprey every chance he got, mocking the English crowd.
Of course.
I will say he did give us the kangaroo kick back, and as goofy as a move as it is, he delivers that drop kick very beautifully. Osprey, being the face, pandering to his crowd, pandering to his people, again showing, I want this more than anything right now. Getting to see him, seeing the lengths that he was willing to go to recapture that international championship.
Really showed a lot to his character.
But MJF done pissed off the wrong people, because his past sure did come back to bite him in the ass. So MJF is, kind of getting the upper hand. We see a masked figure come down. I'm thinking, it's Kyle Fletcher. MJF took out Kyle Fletcher a few weeks ago, that being one of Osprey's really, really close friends. Let's have him, help his friend regain the title that he shouldn't have lost.
I agree.
No, that wasn't the case.
No.
Daniel Garcia provides the distraction, giving Osprey the upper hand. He then, once after distracting MJF, he leaves. MJF finally regains focus in the match. Osprey is now recovered enough to hit him with a Tiger Driver, which, if anybody remembers, his match at Dynasty, he swore to retire that move. I don't want this anymore. It provides too much of a risk of injury. Bryan giving him the stamp of approval to hit that move really was a great example of long-term storytelling. Way to go, Tony Khan. You got your head out of your ass just long enough to pull it off.
Yeah.
hits the Tiger Driver, 1, 2, 3, walking out of England with the International Championship, Will Osprey.
Let's point out something that happened directly after the match when they tried to hand him the American Championship. He shoved it off, and Christopher Daniels came in with the International Championship and raised his hand.
Yes.
He refused to take the American Championship because that's
not the title.
And your grade for this one?
I gave it an A. It was really well done. It was really well paced. Very well put together through and through. Open entrance to closing bell. Mm-hmm. You got to see all of the gears actually work, and everybody was just in perfect synergy, making this happen.
All right. Next match up. Oh, Lord. TBS title.
The best part about this was Mercedes' entrance.
Yes.
With the 3 corgis.
So, entrance-wise, it was great to see Britt Baker's entrance again. I have missed her. However, Mercedes Monet's entrance was... there was a carriage at the top ramp that had been there all night. Me and you had been wondering why. I thought it was going to be more for, like, Toni Storm's entrance.
See, I wouldn't even think... I thought it was, just part of the British decor.
Nah. It would have been on the Jumbotron if that was more of a British decor. It would have been a picture of it, not propped there, because there was nothing else up there to be propped. So, you knew it was going to be used
like
for
I said,
something.
I didn't think it was going to, be used. I thought it was just up there to be a prop. Maybe at some point during one of the earlier matches, like the ladder match or the 3-way, somebody was going to go up there and get thrown into it.
Nope. What it was used for, Mercedes Moné uses that for her entrance as she is pretty much walked to the entrance ramp. They barely... And you see 3 corgis in there, which was the best part. She made her walk down.
Adorable.
She made her walk down, and then we proceed with the match. Nothing memorable. These women did not click whatsoever.
Oh, no.
In the ring. It was sloppy at best.
I was talking to one of my buddies at post show, and he was like, "Dude, that match was garbage. They have no chemistry whatsoever." No. And I was like, "You're not wrong, dude. Like that was booty cheeks."
It was absolutely terrible. Just kind of running through this because I personally don't care about this match any more than you do. There was a moment though that I'm going to point out where Britt Baker did pull in Eddie Guerrero. She acted as though she had been hit by the title from Camille. And
got Camille kicked out of ringside.
From ringside. And then Mercedes still ended up with the win. So, still your TBS champion, Mercedes Moné, and your grade.
D.
I ain't even going to ask why. I don't care. Next match.
Coffin match for the TNT title. Darby Allin challenging Jack Perry. Can I just ask, what is wrong with Darby Allin? What is wrong with that man?
A lot.
Do you know why I asked that?
Because he came down with thumbtacks with his face?
Glued to his
face? Stuck to his face?
Like, why, sir? Why, sir, would you do that?
Because that...
Now, granted, had he headbutted Jack Perry with
he did.
With the thumbtacks, it would have been funny.
He did. Numerous times. He also hugged him and brought them face to face because he loves his buddy oh so much.
Overall, it was a pretty decent match. Mm-hmm. You got to see the length of, one, how much these men hate each other.
Yeah.
And 2, what it means to actually be champion and want that championship. Because Jack Perry was willing to do whatever it took to keep the title, and Darby wants to call himself 3-time TNT champion.
Which I think should have been the key.
Yeah, so do I.
Alright.
So, again, good match. A lot of storytelling. I'm surprised none of the members of the Elite got involved.
I am too. Maybe
That's who was the other starter in the gauntlet match. Elite member Okada.
Yeah, you can see why we didn't care.
I forgot.
You can see why nobody remembered that. Yeah, alright then.
But again, I know them being all involved in their own matches and stuff earlier in the night. I can see why they didn't get involved, but again, still a surprise that they didn't get involved. Mm-hmm. Just gonna fast forward through. We got to see the body bag come into play that Jack Perry brought out with him. He was able to get, Darby zipped in there, despite Darby really, really trying to fight it. Got him into the casket, winning the match after closing said lid. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I'm sorry, the scapegoat Jack Perry.
Kiss my ass.
Post-match, you see, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson come out, help their boys celebrate, but
about a present.
To do some extra damage, they brought in gasoline. They poured it on the casket, they poured it on Darby. They went to go set the casket on fire.
With a big lighter.
I personally would have just had matches. That would have been a lot easier and whatnot.
Either that or at least do one of the older ones.
The Zippo lighter? I would have done one of the ones that I use on my grill, the long neck.
You didn't even need that. Zippo lighters, the Zippo lighters make it look a lot cooler.
I would have just from a distance, so that way I didn't accidentally set myself on fire.
No, he could have set himself on fire. It would have been okay.
Wish they would have let it happen at Blood and Guts. But anyway, we hear music that we haven't heard in a while. And out from the curtain, the man that retired earlier this year, Tony Schiavone's voice screaming what we are all happy to see and hear. It's Sting! Sting comes out with the bat, makes the save, pulls Darby out of the casket, making sure he's okay. Although he did, again, retire from in-ring competition. Flash even was like, wait, I thought he retired from from being an active competitor. That didn't mean he wasn't going to come out and
help save his boy.
Right, save his boy, and they did he said even after retirement he was going to continue watching the AEW product to keep track and keep tabs
on his boy.
On Darby Allin. So glad Darby Allin is in one piece. Nobody got set on fire. Brother the Pyro in me, hence the nickname.
Would have wanted
to see a little bit of fire. Just a little bit. It didn't have to be a big one.
But it didn't happen.
So I'm a little disappointed, but I'm also glad because it didn't come at the expense of Darby Allin.
Mm-hmm. All right, your grade for this one?
Grade was a C+. Again, it was a well put together match.
You didn't like the outcome?
I didn't like the outcome. I do think, one, they could have spent a little bit more time on it because they really didn't give this match a lot of time either. Mm-hmm. And again, I just feel like with it being a casket match and the animosity between the guys, although it did do a really good job of telling the story, I do feel like they still could have done just a little bit more. I
agree. All right, and last match on the card, our main event, AEW World Championship, Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. This is a title versus career match. And I want to point out before anything else, in the crowd was Bree, Birdie, and Buddy Danielson. That was absolutely adorable to see. That Bryan had his family at ringside. This match told everything about how long and how hard Bryan will fight for something that he wants.
Oh, yeah.
And how he was not ready to give up yet.
I will point out, at one point, during the build-up, during, the 0 hour and their pre-match package going into the match.
Yeah.
They got a quote in there and it was Bryan coming out of his coming out of retirement speech. Mm-hmm. They pulled the quote from that one, and it made me really happy to hear it. Also, how they got the rights to that specific promo, I do not know, because that promo happened in
WWE.
Mm-hmm. But they got the if you fight for your dreams will fight for you. Coming out of that, and I was like, that was really cool. That was a really nice nod to how far this man has come in his career.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, again, how did Tony Khan?
We're not going to worry about that.
I'm going to worry about it.
We're not going to worry about that because that ain't on our legal shit to worry about. We're going to worry about the matches. That's what we're here to. That's what we're here to talk about.
I have questions.
Keep them to yourself.
No.
Too bad. So, this match, very hard hitting, very technical, very well put together. Swerve showed why he is champion. Bryan showed why he is the American Dragon and why he deserves to be champion. You
were very disappointed in the theme song that played.
I was.
Bryan out.
Because I wanted to see somebody get their head kicked in.
We did watch somebody get their head kicked in.
Yeah, but I wanted to hear it and get hyped up beforehand. Not lose a brain cell.
Okay, but again, it made sense for the storyline.
Get the final brain cell.
Is that how Flash feels daily?
Probably.
Anyway, but it made sense to the story, okay?
Whatever. Anywho, there's a moment on the outside where Swerve is attacking Danielson in front of his family, and he's saying, "You want your daddy? I'm trying to give him to you. You want your daddy home? I got you." Gets him back in the ring. There were a lot of near falls, though, throughout this entire match. But there's a moment towards the closing moments with this where you see Bryan looking at his family and Swerve is kicking his chest. And he, in between the kicks, is looking at Birdie because this is the one he made the promise to. And he's saying, "I'm sorry. I love you. It's okay." And then he really builds it up and he says, "I'm sorry. I'm not coming home."
I do love that they played into that because you can tell the genuine, like, my dad's getting his ass kicked and I'm kind of scared face that Birdie had on.
Yes. Ultimately, it took a lot to put down, but ending out the night, your new AEW World Champion, Bryan Danielson, and then his family came in the ring to celebrate.
Both professional and personal.
Yes. We had the Blackpool Combat Club with PAC.
Again, one of these things just doesn't belong here. It didn't make sense.
Who knows that he could be the next member added in. We don't know what's going on because Moxley has been MIA for the last 2 months. And no, he actually hasn't been wrestling in Japan.
I know. You asked, I gave
the best answer you could.
I gave the best answer I could. It would have made sense. He's always in Japan. Like, hey, where is he? I think he's in Japan. I don't know. I stated that I didn't know, and I gave a best guesstimate.
All right, and your grade for this one.
See, because I had to give it a grade, I wrote an A+, but in reality, how do you grade something of such high levels of perfection?
You give it an E for excellent.
Even then, I feel like that doesn't do it enough justice.
Because if you give it an F, it means it's bad. It's not fantastic. E is excellent.
Like, this match was so downright perfect in every aspect.
Even the lead-up.
How do you really grade something like this?
I have no clue, but
so we'll give it an A+, 100%, 10 out of 10, 93 million stars, like...
I believe, and I did read this too, that Dave Meltzer gave this a 6.5 star rating, so...
10 stars.
Yes, I know, you love it.
It was...
overall grade for this show.
C+.
Okay, understandable.
Still better than last year.
Yes. That does conclude AEW All In. We see you this coming weekend for Bash in Berlin.
And NXT's No Mercy.
So we got our mush of
And then right after that, we have AEW's All Out. Speaking of All Out, we have our first match announced and confirmed. Again, Tony Khan, please, if you're going to do this close together like this in the future, bundle them and let me only pay one price. First and foremost.
Second off, if you're not going to do that, space them out a little more so that way you can actually build between pay-per-views, because this whole only 1 to 2 weeks between these two is not okay. You're not giving your fans enough time to breathe or, again, tell stories going into this. So with that being said, our first match with no type of build. Osprey will defend his newly won international championship against newly crowned AEW Trios member and honorary Blackpool Combat Club member PAC. Yep, that was confirmed just a bit after.
Almost immediately after the pay-per-view went off air.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that concludes it. We will see you the next 2 weekends for all of our wrestling, and then
we don't see you again for another month.
So, we love you. We hope you enjoyed the show. And with that, we are out. Laters.